offer the excess funds towards the tree plantation initiative. There were a lot of good souls who actually came forward. For instance, Mahindra Finance came forward and donated saplings worth 15,000 rupees. They were reluctant to give cash, but they gave saplings. Now comes the next challenge. You've got so many saplings lying around. When are you going to go plant it without any manpower? Again, you go back to the previous slide, the lack of people support. Finding the right tools and equipment. If you had a pit drilling machine, it would take you roughly 5 minutes to drill a pit and put the sapling inside. But in the absence of a 15,000 rupee worth pit drilling machine, it is a guy or to make it worse, a software engineer who's probably never touched a spade in his life who's digging through the earth. He ends up hurting himself and occasionally breaking the underlying plumbing and therefore having the owner shout at us because his water is running amok. It sounds ridiculous, but yeah, we had funny moments, but the ground reality is it was a lot of work. Finally, conveyance and food for the volunteers. We did not find locations in Tinagar to plant trees. People had to commute about 35 to 40 kilometers on that particular day. They were spending petrol to actually plant a tree. If people in that particular locality had volunteered, all of this would not have had to happen. Slide. Now, since we were talking about funds, the major expense that we faced while planting trees was tree guard. This is an extremely dark slide. It looked better on my screen, but that is how an ideal tree guard is supposed to be. It's made of metal. It can actually protect the sapling. This is the tree guard that we had to make do with. We got 3 poles, we stuck it like a triangle, and then we ran a load of mesh around it, and we tied it up with either strings or occasionally little pieces of metal to, twine it up. It holds good for about 3 months, but one strong wind and it's gone. Slide. Maintenance. Without a tree guard, the probability of the sapling surviving is very, very minimal. The cow would just walk up and eat it, or occasionally, if a strong wind blows, it might just tilt to one side, the branch, it's still tender. The twig would break and then it doesn't grow after that. That's how easy it is to get rid of a 50 rupee worth sapling. The major portion of maintenance involves removing the weeds away from the peripheral area, adding manure on a periodical basis, like 2 to 3 months once. Pruning in order to make it grow vertically. A lot of trees tend to grow branches at the tender stage, then they don't gain height. So you keep pruning it until it gains a little height and then let it spread its arms out. Slide. Okay, now these are some extremely creative methods that bombed in our faces. We were wondering if we can make the tree guard not get blown away by putting a tire around it. And then we realized if the tree grew too big, then removing the tire from around it would require an hacksaw blade and a lot of effort. So we decided to do away with it. Now we could just get rid of such stupid acts of creativity if we had the funds to afford a tree guard. Which is why we go around with very posh begging bowls asking for funds, but we would rather it just came our way. This one is an attempt at doing drip irrigation. Because it's summer and people might not water the sapling on a regular basis, you up down a water bottle, you cut off its base, you make a tiny hole at the bottom and then you dig it deep into the soil. Then you fill it with water, it keeps seeping water at a very slow pace and therefore the ground remains moist, it doesn't get dried and evaporated and your sapling lives that much longer. Slide. Dangers to a sapling, like I said, grazing animals, the absence of tree guard, anti-tree human beings. Do you know there are people in Pondi Bazaar who pour acid at the roots of a tree? Why? The government refuses to let them cut down the tree. They do their business on the platform and therefore they need the space which is taken up by the tree. They can't cut it down directly, so they decided to kill it slowly. Pour acid at its roots. This summer it's going to dry up, next summer it's going to be totally falling to pieces and then the government will think, oh my god, this is an eyesore, let's just get away with it. Cut it down. This is the kind of mentality that most people have in the cities today. And of course, natural calamities. There were a bunch of active participants from tree plantation who did a bike ride back around the same places where we planted after the cyclone Nilam actually hit. That's when we realized our tree guards were really up to no good. Next slide. Most of the questions that I get when I reveal these facts to people. In the process of making a tree guard, you're cutting down another tree, which is known as the Savakamaram. It offers really good wooden poles. So they say you cut one tree in order to grow another. Now, what kind of logic is that? Well, in my defense, the Savukamaram is grown in large quantities by farmers, by people who intend to make a business out of it for the sole purpose that it serves as a very good support. For instance, if you have a pandal, if you have to have a canopy during a function in your house, that is the pole that you actually use. It's sturdy, it lasts long, so we see no harm in actually using it. It grows really fast. Using thorn bushes to protect the tree guard. We cut down little thorn bushes and put it around the tree guard so that grazing animals are totally discouraged from coming close to it. Why? Because the thorn bush as such it's called Seemakarvenam. Now, in case you didn't know, it drinks up your entire groundwater. The only reason why this thorn bush grows so easily and so widespread is because it propagates through goats. Goats love to eat its leaves. And it drinks up your entire groundwater supply. One thorn bush, and for a certain radius around it, you won't find any other plant. So it's just good to kill it. Finance management so far. How have we been handling our finances? Some nice CVCNs have contributed a lot of money. We use that to buy the saplings, to buy materials for the tree guard. The volunteers who actually come and plant the tree contribute up to 100 rupees for one event. We use that to pay for the breakfast that they eat over there and for other incidental expenses. Of course, we have sponsors like Mahindra Finance and a few other companies which actually provide saplings or direct cash in some cases. Sounds like a lot of boring stuff. Okay, I get the point. Now, what exactly are you asking us to do? Now, I'm not here to sell tree plantation as such, but we've been doing it for the last, I think, 9 months. And over the period, we've had a lot of fun doing it. So here are some, insider clicks as to what really happened during some of our tree plantation initiatives. Slide. The digging boys. When the guys showed up at the SMK Fomrag Institute, they were faced up with a challenging task. They had to dig over 250 pits to plant trees. The first day they went in, they had limited number of volunteers. They kept digging and digging to the point where the local gardener got very offended. He walked up to them and demanded to know how much labor charge they are being paid in order to dig these pits and why they were not hired to do the same thing. The next day when they show up at the college venue, the watchman calls at the management and says, "Sir, these are software engineers, you could be the CEO, but still the watchman just assumed the local gardeners there to dig pits." And so some of these proud souls, one is changing the slide, the other is trying to hide his face. Next slide please. The cutting boys and girls. The process of cutting down the thorn bushes in order to protect the sapling is again a lot of effort. So you get some wonderful looking faces like this with the Arwal people who never actually used it before and don't know how to wield it. Slide. Street cricket. If you're done with your plantation for the day, you've probably befriended all the kids in the street because they ask a lot of questions, they're curious, they want to know why you're there, what you're doing, what you're up to. And at the end of it, they're so pleased with you that they invite you to play cricket. So these boys just can't resist such an offer. They end up carrying bats and balls along with their gardening tools, and it just becomes part of the later afternoon agenda to play cricket. Next slide. Back to college and school days. Now there's really not much to say. You walk into a college, you plant trees, and at lunchtime, you're rewinding your tape, going back to your days. So there are guys playing seesaw in a school ground. Here is somebody asking for a recess toilet visit. Next slide. Swimming. This happened in Pondicherry. They organized a bike ride, rode bikes all the way up to Pondicherry for the entire weekend. They were planting trees and then they rode back. So in the process, they got to swim in the college grounds. Next. Of course, the actual biking part. Now, you've probably never played motorsports the way these guys play. You drive a Honda City with the dicky open, one guy sitting there and all the tree guard poles sticking out like that. You've probably never driven a trolley like this in and around a campus with a load of muck and manure inside it. And this is how we intend the roads to be. Not like the nonsense roads you have in Sipcot with buildings on either side. Just look at this road. It's just trees on either side and one bike in between. The amount of fog that it attracts will make it a pure pleasure to ride. Next slide please. Birthday bumps. If somebody unfortunately was born on a weekend when the tree plantation is happening, his posterior is in for a lot of damage. This is what happened to some of those unfortunate souls who celebrated their weekends. Next slide. Getting scolded by Roots Ramanujans. There are people who walk up to you and says, who gave you permission to plant a tree in front of my house? That is where I park my car. Now, you politely try to explain to the man, you know, when the tree grows, it's going to be giving you a lot of shade and you won't have to spend so much on your AC bill and your house is going to look attractive. No, who gave you permission to plant it over here? We have an association and I am the secretary. You tempted to ask, what have you been doing all these days without planting a tree? But incidentally, they just get in the way of your task. Next slide. Breaking water pipes, like I said, we don't understand the blueprint or the anatomy of their plumbing. We go there digging with good intentions and create a mini flood like this. Next slide. Food exploration. There is no CTC event without great food, right? At the end of it, you're so famished, you're so hungry, you decide to do away with all the herbivorous animals by actually consuming them. Next slide. Ice cream delights. This is the boy who's changing the slides over here. The Kuchi ice seller in various localities have made a fortune and a killing out of the number of ice creams we've bought from them. Next slide. Facebook heroes. If you're a bachelor and you intend to increase your Facebook TRP ratings by getting beautiful pictures in various angles, CTC has wonderful photographers who will do it for you free of charge. You can see their work around you. Sabha Naikan has left the building. Next slide, please. Tree planting is a bonding experience. Now, where can you make a friend like this? He's sitting in the back seat over there wearing a blue color shirt. Now, this young man over here is the one who wanted his Facebook profile breaked up slightly and he ran out of the building because I said he wanted... Hi, Sabha. What actually transpired? The red color bar depicts the number of trees we planted and the green bar adjacent is the number of trees that survived. Now this is a census that is taken over a period of the last 3 to 4 months. You notice places like this. We planted 60 trees, 0 survived. We planted 29 trees and 0 survived. Both of these, coincidentally, were in a school. It's just glaring that our education system is so wonderful. We teach people to get into IIT, but we can't teach them to stay away from a sapling. There are other places, like SNK Fomra Institute for instance. You planted 280 saplings. The gardeners were so touched when these guys told them that they were not the hired labor but software engineers spending their weekends digging pits that they got invited for tea. And the gardener agreed to water the plant on a regular basis and care for it, provided these guys come back, visit on a regular basis and bring pictures of them actually doing the planting. Pondicherry. They made 2 bike visits up to Pondicherry and back. Our gracious hosts were Madan and Punita. They planted 140 trees, 120 survived, 160, 145 survived. Moral of the story, if you really have people who care, who give a damn about caring for the sapling, then the casualty rate of the sapling goes down drastically. They don't die so easily if you really care for them. Next slide. This again is a tabular form in case you are graphically challenged. If you didn't understand what the graph meant in the previous slide, I have numbers over here with color-coded information. The red color is where nothing survived. Green color is where there was a good survival rate. The purple is basically the average, less than 70-60%. Next slide. Touching moments. Now, if you have a pup, you are so happy that he hugs you and cuddles you when you come back home. But the tree is not really so expressive, but still it has its moments. Now, a photographer would say the subject of this picture is the earthworm that's curled up in between, but I would say just look at the background for a minute. This is the hand of a guy named Siddharth. Just look at his index finger. There's a blood mark on it. He's got boils all over his palm. Why? Because he spent an entire day digging pits in SNK Fomra. His hands were so wounded, he had to be fed by a friend using a spoon for lunch. He could not use his hands that day to actually eat. And this guy is happily posting it on Facebook saying, you know, this earthworm is the best friend of a farmer. Slide. Now, most of us look at Peter's pictures, the Pardney exploration pictures, the various pictures of various people going on treks, and then our heart fills up with jealousy and we're like, oh man, I missed it. Peter, I want to be there next time. Asu, I want to be there next time. Here is a guy who was actually guilty that he had fun on an Ooty cycling trip because he had to miss a tree plantation to do it. This is an atrocious FB comment, so it warrants a slide of its own. He says, sorry I was in the Ooty trip, we'll join the next time for tree plantation. And another guy comes up and says, sorry Atala, free I would respect man, you've been planting trees for so many weeks, you deserve the right. Next slide. Now, okay, the red colored trousers are distracting the attention from the slide, but look at this. The guy shows up in the morning, cuts his finger with a spade, runs out, gets it band-aided, and then runs right back to plant more trees. That's how dedicated some of the volunteers really are. Next slide. Now, we've been talking about purchasing saplings from the nurseries and planting them, but planting seeds is a very, very difficult task. Why? Because it takes ages to grow and it requires a lot of nurturing. Now these guys made a social cycling trip. They were planning to visit a mentally challenged home in Mangbakam. They're planning to cycle up to it. In the process, visit a college to just observe the trees that they planted on a previous visit. And en route, they were just carrying a couple of neem seeds with them. They decided to plant them along the way. The next time they went the same way, the seeds had sprouted. It was a rainy day when they actually planted it, and the seeds had actually sprouted. Now give it some more time, it's probably going to become a neem tree, and the road is going to look like that Pondicherry road which I showed in the previous slide. All in all, Adagarajas. You don't have to give your heart, blood, soul, everything to tree plantation and stop having fun. You can have the cake and eat it too over here. You get at least 4 weekends in a month. If you want to dedicate 1 weekend to tree plantation, you still get 3 weekends to go on treks. And lately it's become a fashion for the trek organizers to say that you will be given preference if you participate in these social activities because we realize you're a more serious and a more dedicated trekker. Now, this guy who's changing slides here actually participated in the Half Ironman event and he's one of the key organizers in our tree plantation initiative. Slide. Next all in all Adagaraja is the great photographer Arun Jadesh, who is back there. He's a trekker, he's a really good biker. He participated in the marathon, he's a photographer. Most of the pictures in this particular presentation were taken by him. And he is also the official manure man when you're out planting trees. Next slide. Now, this man here is married, and to prove it, we got the picture of his kid in the middle of the slide. Now, it might seem inappropriate for a new father to spend the weekends planting trees. But in case you didn't know, this is the man who sent me a lot of data-backed articles which prove that the growth of babies in the womb is directly affected by air pollution. He's probably done a lot of research, faced a lot of trouble when his child was gone, which is why he decided to take matters into his own hands and be a part of tree plantation every week. Now this is an example I would like to live up to. Next. This is Siddharth Ramana, the boy who had the earthworm in his hand and several bruises in the background. He is a trekker, a marathon runner, a very avid cyclist, a wannabe photographer. I hope he gets there pretty soon. And also an extremely important and active part of our tree plantation initiative. Next slide. Now, after all these efforts, there are a few people who actually recognize and reward you for it. An organization called Youth Charity recognized the work done by Chennai Trekking Club's Let's Grow Our Own Oxygen group and awarded these people for the number of trees that they helped them plant. Next slide. This is the ecology, the eco group which was founded in Asan Memorial Arts and Science College on the same day that these boys showed up for tree plantation. Now I'm not sure if it was deliberately coordinated that way, but Sridhar, who went there wearing a pair of shorts and an extremely ugly shirt, was made the chief guest of that particular inaugural function. In the subsequent picture, he's wearing shorts and lighting the lamp. We decided we just have a group photo instead. Next slide. The inhabitants of this particular colony invited the members of Let's Grow Our Own Oxygen. They felicitated them, and they've been maintaining the saplings planted ever since. They have a really good sapling survival rate. Next slide. These are our hosts in Pondicherry. You see here Punita and there's Malan in the background. It's nice to actually go about exploring food in the mess, but they cooked food at home and served it for all these hungry men on those 2 weekends when they actually visited Pondicherry. Next slide. Again, random people, when you actually go about planting trees, tend to come forward and help you out. They'll buy tea, they'll make tea for you, they'll buy you lunch, they'll let you sleep in their front yard. There are good souls on the planet. That's exactly, the kind of priceless returns we expect, nothing else. Next slide. This lady over here has taken it upon herself to water every single tree that was planted along the Thiruvanmiyur RPO stretch. It was planted by the forest department, but during the cyclone, after the cyclone, occasionally when it requires a lot of nurturing, she just takes water from the local water of mail from Peter Van Gate as to, giving us this early morning slot and taking 1 into, I think, 70 people's precious time to give this presentation. This we consider to be a reward in itself. It's called Trek Polama, it's not called Tea Plantation Polama, but still we've got the time to explain our concerns and our initiative to you. Next slide. Ultimately, the only thing that never speaks but always gives you in large quantities is the tree itself. Watching the sapling that you planted yet all grow up to be a lot taller than you and still continue growing to the point where you will sleep in its own arms is watching the tree itself. Next slide. We have plans for the future and you can be part of it. We intend to plant more trees, not just saplings, let it go at that and then leave it to God to survive. We intend to tie up with the forest department, get saplings at either a lower rate or free of cost and plant it in the city. Now a lot of NGOs ask you to donate money so they can go plant tree in Udakamandalam, in Metupalayam, which is another place in itself. It's not the city. But for us city dwellers, for us people who pay electricity bills for air conditioners, for people like us who fight with diseases with pollution and hair fall, it's important to have trees inside the city. So which is why you can be part of our initiatives planting it in Chennai. We could use more sponsors, a lot of volunteers and more tree plantation organizers. You have people fighting to become trek organizers, but there are very few people who fight to become a tree plantation organizer. We would like to see that day. Next slide. Tree plantation in villages in and around water bodies. It really helps attract birds and other wildlife. And have 1 fruit tree per home in a village. And finally, having traditional trees like banyan and peepal tree, which require a lot of space to grow. And finally, more tree huggers in the city. Tree hugger is somebody who doesn't cut it down, who doesn't find an excuse to park his car in a place where the tree ought to be. Next slide. Be a volunteer. Now we're forcing a little kid to come and plant a sapling. Now we don't want you to come kicking and screaming like this. We would rather have you walk in of your own choice, of your own will, smiling to be a volunteer. Next slide. Now you saw a lot of pictures and I pointed out certain unfortunate souls and some very compromising photos today, but the backbone of this entire initiative, if you look at the slide, we've planted 1,200 and odd trees and over 800 of them have survived. It is not a one-man's effort, it is not a 10 people effort, but countless people have come either once or repeatedly and contributed in their own way. It's a team effort. You don't have to be physically fit, you don't have to be able to dig a pit yourself. You could just participate in your own way. It could be emailing, it could be gathering information, getting contacts, or just identifying a place to plant trees. Next. I think the picture speaks for itself.